Tensions between China and its regional neighbors in the South China and Philippine Seas increased markedly this week. Naval exercises by both the United States and China have massed an unusual number of warships in the South China Sea. The uptick began late last week. The China Liaoning carrier strike group maneuvered through the strategic Miyako Strait on Sunday, just southwest of Okinawa. Since then, a separate point of tension between China and the Philippines over a mass of fishing vessels identified as part of China People's Armed Forces Maritime Militia led to a series of heated diplomatic exchanges between Manila and Beijing. Open-source intelligence analysts tracked the movements of the Liaoning carrier strike group this week as it appeared to traverse the Luzon Strait, the body of water that, along with the Bohai Channel, separates the Philippines and Taiwan. This crucially strategic area is also the primary boundary between the Philippine Sea and the South China Sea and connects the Greater Pacific to the northern reaches of the South China Sea. As such, this area is of intense reconnaissance interest to all stakeholders in the region. The United States military paid particularly close attention to these waters in July last year, regularly flying intelligence-gathering planes into the area. Since then, the surveillance flights have continued, often spiking at times when there is heavy Chinese naval activity in the area. The Liaoning carrier strike group maneuvers around the strait were closely observed by Japan and the United States. Analysts identify the U.S. Navy Robert-class destroyer shadowing the group, as it headed west towards the South China Sea. By April 10, 2021, analysts flagged one Type 055 Renhai-class missile destroyer and one Type 052D Luan-class destroyer splitting from the group and heading north towards the Taiwan Strait. The increased number of ships was not just due to the Chinese naval exercise alone. Yesterday the Theodore Roosevelt Carrier Strike Group and the Makin Island Amphibious Ready Group conducted a coordinated exercise in the South China Sea. The Theodore Roosevelt Carrier Strike Group consists of the USS Theodore Roosevelt, Carrier Air Wing 11, the Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruiser USS Bunker Hill, Destroyer Squadron 23, and the Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer USS Russell. The USS Makin Islands Group also consisted of amphibious assault ships the USS Somerset and USS San Diego. A cluster of vessels was spotted via satellite imagery just east of Taiwan Proteus Islands. In recent years, Proteus Island has been of increasing concern to observers of the South China Sea. Analyst Yoshiyuki Ogarzawara has focused on the Proteus Islands as a potential target of China geopolitical ambitions as it approaches the centennial anniversary of the Chinese Communist Party on July 23 this year. Ogarzawara argues that capturing the island could be a way for China to demonstrate progress towards its goal of reunifying Taiwan without sparking a wider conflict. The small island located between China, Taiwan, and the Philippines has a strategic advantage on the South China Sea. Its small size and flat geography make it difficult to defend. The island typically has no permanent residents but has seen a quiet buildup of a garrison of about 500 Taiwanese Marines. Last year Taiwanese F-16s began flying patrols with live Harpoon anti-ship missiles in an effort to deter China interest in potentially capturing the island. U.S. Navy P-8 Poseidons have done the same. Chinese military exercises apparently focused on capturing the island were reported in May last year. The area has also recently seen an increase in drone incursions. Last week, Taiwanese official Ocean Affairs Council Chair Lee Chung-wei addressed the drone issue, describing them as circling the island. He threatened we'll shoot down the drone. China has recently invested heavily in coastal bases, such as a massive new helicopter base directly across the Strait of Taiwan that could prove essential to a major offensive against the island. Meanwhile, the week saw a near-constant stream of Chinese overflights of Taiwan Air Defense Identification Zone. According to Taiwan Ministry of National Defense, There have been 46 overflights across the southwestern portion of the Taiwan Strait. These flights have included as many as 15 People Liberation Army aircraft at one time, including 8 J-10 and 4 J-16 fighter aircraft in one incident. China and the Philippines also appear to deepen their dispute over more than 200 Chinese vessels occupying an area in the West Philippine Sea known as Whitsun Reef. On April 5, 2021, the Chinese embassy in the Philippines issued a statement expressing that it is completely normal for Chinese fishing vessels to fish in the waters and take shelter near the reef during rough sea conditions. On Thursday, April 8, 2021, the U.S. State Department provided a readout stating that Secretary of State Blinken had spoken with his Philippine counterpart Teodoro Locsin Jr. about the assing of PRC maritime military vessels. Blinken additionally affirmed the applicability of the 1951 U.S.-Philippine Mutual Defense Treaty to the South China Sea. China Foreign Minister spokesman Zhao Lijian responded by saying that the United States should stop inciting quarrels and sowing discord. In the coming weeks, it will be crucial to see if regional stakeholders are able to manage these tensions. Negotiations and inter-alliance relationships will be crucial to creating an effective counterbalance to the increasingly capable and assertive Chinese military operations in the region.